How's it going, Top Frost TV? My name is Jack and welcome to my preview for the Stoke City game taking place at the City Ground on Saturday. Now, obviously, we know how it ended up last time we did play Stoke at the City Ground, last game of last season where, everything just imploded and it was one of the lowest points of being a Forest supporter. There's been quite a few low points, very little high points, but yeah, that one was just, devastating if I'm being honest. But we've got Stoke next, and they're not doing very well recently. I mean, they are 13th and they are safe, and there's no chance of them going up. But they're not really doing that well recently. Lost 3-2 to Coventry, drew 0-0 with Preston, and lost 2-0 to Birmingham, lost 2-1 to Millwall. Not been doing very well recently at all. And hopefully we can capitalise on that. But saying that though, we've not really been that good either. The last two games have been shambles. I mean, that Birmingham game last night was an absolute... It was just horrendous. We were terrible. I don't know what the game plan was, but we just looked so disinterested, and it was just an absolute mess. Really, we got really lucky with the decision. I looked at it again. And I don't see any reason for that to be given as a penalty, in my opinion. But I'm not complaining, and Graben dispatched it. And we're now only 2 points clear of safety now. And wouldn't it be nice if we beat Stoke and confirm that, we actually confirmed something against Stoke for a change, rather than it just going horribly, horribly wrong. But yeah, it's not going to be an easy game, even though Stoke are on a poor run of form. They've got some very good players for this kind of level. Jack Clark ripping up at Leeds, he's doing well for them. Joe Allen, he's a culture player, he's been around the block for a very long time. Jacob Brown caused us no end of problem when we played them at the Stoke City Stadium, or the Bet365, I don't really know, Britannia as it's more commonly known as. Tyrese Campbell, his dad played for Forest. Angus Gunn, he was up and coming for England. They've got a good squad, and Tashan Oakley-Booth, just to name a few. But I think it's going to be an interesting one. Obviously, last time we did play them, they were doing really well, and we managed to get a 1-1 draw. Was it? Yeah, it was. It was when Graben ducked at the front post and just allowed the ball underneath it to go, allowed himself to go underneath the ball, and that was very, very annoying. And then we scored from an own goal. Actually, I think Graben's goal last night makes him top scorer. Before that, it was own goals. Now it's Lewis Graben, and that's just the epitome of our season. A goal scorer last season in Graben who got 20 goals. This season, he can't hit the boat from the ocean from a boat. There we go. I was meant to say that, not the boat from an ocean. Doesn't really make much sense. But yeah, anyway, in terms of the lineup for this one, it's hard because you look at the last game and not many players really say to you they deserve to play. Obviously, Samba, you had a really good game. Wall had a really good game. McKenna had a good game. The two fullbacks weren't very good, but there's not really many right backs you can swap Christie with, so I'd probably stick him in the side. At the left back role, maybe give Yuri a go. I'm not sure on his fitness, but I'd probably give him a go. I'd go with Yates and Cafu ahead of the defence. I know that's a bit controversial, but Garner's not looked very good recently. I don't know whether or not he's made his impression and thinks, right, I'm going to be leaving this club, so I don't want to play too well. I don't know, but I'd play those two instead of him. Behind the striker, I'd have Filip Krovinovic. He wasn't the best, but he wasn't awful. He didn't really do too much, but I think on his day he can offer you something a bit different. Myton definitely has to start on the left for me. He was one of the only players who was actually trying to go forward and trying to drive forward with the ball. On the right, if he's fit, Amiobi, I'm not too sure if he is. If he's not, then probably go with... Oh, I don't really know. I would say Knockout, but he's not really been that good of late either. I'll give him a go. Give him Knockout a go from the off. See what he can do. Behind, like I said, behind the striker, behind the striker, Krovinovic. For me, Graben scored, so I'll give it to Graben. Why not? See what he can do, and see if he can keep his little goal scoring run going, I guess you could say. One goal is not really a run, but it is all we can get really this season. And yeah, in terms of the scoreline, I don't know. It's a tricky one. I said 2-1 last night, and I wasn't too far off, but the game shouldn't have been 2-1 or 1-1. It should have been Birmingham probably 2-3-0. We were dreadful, and they probably deserved much better. I think in terms of the scoreline, I'm going to go with a Forest 1-0 win. I'm going to say Forest 1-0 win and see if we can keep a clean sheet and eke out. I think it is our last game of the season at home. So, not that there'll be any fans there, which is a shame. Hopefully next season we can have fans back and we can hear the City Ground in full voice once again. That'll be really nice to hear. If not, then we'll just have to keep waiting until we can do. But I don't know if it'll make a difference really having fans in. There were some pundits who were saying, "Oh, Forest will really benefit from having no fans in because of the fact that they won't be under so much pressure from the demanding City Ground faithful." And there was some who were saying, "We need the fans to drive us on. Look at last night, the fans driving us on. We might have actually done better in some of the games that have been really poor." I look back and think, Watford at home, that was a 0-0, very drab game. Not much happened. That one at the start of the season. I think if fans are in the ground just roaring the boys on, it might give them something to play for, that little bit of a boost to give them that little extra mile to run, that extra, well, not maybe mile, yard to run, that little bit more, that little 10% more to give to the game. And I think last game, home game of the season, probably the City Ground probably saw our best game of the season in terms of performance-wise. Probably Millwall at home or Wickham away was a good shout, but I'll say Millwall at home or QPR at home has to be up there for me. But yeah, anyway, like I say, I think it'll be 2-1 to Forest. Goal scorers, 2-1 to Forest, and 1-0 to Forest. Goal scorers being, I'm going to say Alex Myton. I'd like to see the youngster get on the score sheet. I thought he might get on the score sheet last night. He didn't. Maybe he could get on it again. Nice Steve Grabban could score, make it 2-2. But yeah, 1-0 to Nottingham Forest for me, and hopefully we can confirm safety. So if you did enjoy, smash that like button, subscribe to Talk Forest TV if you haven't already, and come on, you Reds. Oh, by the way, sorry if I'm wearing a Dortmund shirt on the Forest channel. I just wanted to support another club who didn't join in with the ESL. So anyway, thank you for watching. Come on, you Reds.